Hey guys, welcome back to the JTO channel, and obviously this is a Chelsea News daily video, even though it's not a daily video at all. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about three main stories, and I'm going to briefly talk about two more. Obviously the three, you can see it by the title and the thumbnail. Hudson Odoi to Borussia Dortmund. Obviously he's a good personal terms, but it looks like Chelsea are going to block the move, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that, and why I actually don't think Chelsea should block the move for Hudson Odoi. And obviously the other two, it looks like Saul and Kounde could potentially be off the deal, and whether it will happen or not, and why these moves for me have to happen, because seeing as Chelsea have wasted quite a lot of time, in my opinion, in this window, despite actually buying a striker and etc. So if you do enjoy this video, people, please like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications, follow my social media down below, and yeah, let's get into this. So the first story I want to talk about is, obviously, let's just get straight into it. Saul and Kounde are the main ones I want to talk about. So when it comes to Kounde, first of all, it looks like David Ornstein earlier today said that the deal is going to be potentially off, simply because obviously Sevilla and Chelsea, just the prices are just, there's not a huge difference. There's like a 10-15 million pound million euro difference. Like Sevilla want like 65 million euros. Chelsea are only willing to pay 50 million euros, and it looks like they're not gonna budge. And in my opinion, look, Chelsea just have to just pay the money, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Kounde, I always said this at the beginning. I said we did not need Kounde because we were good at centre back. Okay, the fact that we already had Zuma here, we had really good Christensen, Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva, and the fact that Trevor Chalobah's come through, for me there was no reason to go for a centre back this summer. But now it's like, now you have to get him, or what would have been the point of selling Kurt Zuma? Do you know what I'm saying? And if we don't get Kounde, then I feel like this shows that we have wasted so much time in chasing a player that we didn't need over a position like midfield that we needed. You know, the fact that Chelsea didn't want to even go and bid for a Declan Rice, didn't want to even go bidding for a Tchouameni, the fact that now you're struggling to now get Saul on a loan, even though this is one of a last minute, for me, a panic deal with Saul. I understand Chelsea do want a loan deal and etc. I'll get to Saul in a minute, but it just feels like with Kounde, you've sold Zuma now. You have to get him, or you would have wasted everybody's time in hoping that we get Kounde. This is why everyone wanted Zuma sold, because we could get Kounde. Okay? Even before we were linked to Kounde, everyone was happy with their centre backs. So to me, it's like, if you don't get him, then what the hell? I'm going to be annoyed. I'm actually going to be bare annoyed, even though we didn't need him. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this leads on sort of just to why I'm linking it to Saul, because now it looks like, again, the Saul deal could be off. You know, a guy called Jacob, and I can't pronounce his second name, it's Stenberg or something like that, said the deal for Saul could be off. And CFC News page, I think, said a couple reasons why. Well, he said it's not off, but it's been stalled, obviously, because Chelsea want do a loan with an option to buy. Atletico straight up either want to sell him permanently, or they would rather a loan with an obligation to buy, and Chelsea are not really willing to do that. Saul himself is keen on the Chelsea move, but Chelsea just want a loan with an option to buy. And once again, leaving things out late. You know, we were never linked to a Saul until a week ago, but then you realised you couldn't get Declan Rice, and on top of that, you're not interested in really getting Tchouameni. So what does that tell me? It probably tells me that the reason why Chelsea did not really go in for a midfielder this summer is because they probably only want Declan Rice. But is Tchouameni not a good player either? Like, you can get Tchouameni, and in a few seasons, you can still get Declan Rice. Because, like I said, Kante and Jorginho are 29 and 30 respectively. Give it 2-3 more years, and they'll probably move on, the pair of them. Declan Rice will be in his mid-20s. Like, it's not a rush to really, you know, it's not a rush, or it's not a must for us to get a Declan Rice this summer, if you know what I'm saying. But let me get back to Saul. So like I said, it looks like there's just a disagreement in the option to buy and the obligation to buy between Chelsea and Atletico. Obviously, Diego Simeone apparently had said a couple of things about Saul. They said they talked to him, they know how we feel, and etc. And let's see what happens in the next couple hours. And apparently Atletico Madrid are even thinking about whether they even want to let Saul go. So At this rate, people, I just do not know whether these deals are going to happen. And for me, they have to happen. Especially if I was to, honestly, if you told me, if I was to pick between Kounde and Saul to get, I'd have to say Saul, because for me, we need a midfielder still more than a centre back. Yes, we let Zuma go, but we had Trevor Chalobah in. And last season, we still had Zuma, Thiago Silva, Christensen, Rudiger, and Azpilicueta. 5 centre backs for 3 positions. So it's like, okay, you've let Zuma go. At least you've got Trevor Chalobah here. But at the same time, if you don't get a midfielder, what are you planning to do? Are you planning to use Trevor Chalobah there? And then all of a sudden, if you don't get Kounde, we've got Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger, and Christensen? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and this also then leads to Hudson Odoi with the move to Dortmund, because it's like, if you don't get these players, then we have to keep Joe. If you get these players, then for me, you have to give Cho to Dortmund on loan this season. And let me move on to Cho real quick, yeah? Because obviously reports have come out recently, last 24 hours, that Dortmund have been keeping an eye out on Hudson Odoi, and they've actually agreed personal terms with Hudson Odoi. So maybe, I don't know, on how much they'll pay him and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know. It's not like it's a permanent transfer, so I don't think the personal terms would have been that difficult. I'm not going to lie to you, because it's a loan deal at the end of the day. Chelsea have always been willing to let go of Callum on a loan this season, this summer transfer window, but I feel like maybe if Dortmund had come for him earlier, I think Chelsea may have said yes, in confidence that they'd maybe back then to get Kounde and Saul. But it looks like Chelsea are going to block the move, and this tells me if Chelsea are blocking the move, then they're not sure whether they're going to get Kounde or not. I think Chelsea are not sure whether they're going to get Kounde or even a Saul. For some reason, it all links up to Cho, because it's like with Cho, he plays at wing back, and if you get Kounde in, you can move Azpilicueta into the wing back positions with Reece James. Oh, that way, Hudson Odoi probably will not be needed at least for one season, because in the attacking positions, there's too many guys ahead of him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And for me, if I was Chelsea, let him go. Let him go to Dortmund. He can play on the left wing. It's a spot there for him. He can link up with Marco Reus, Erling Haaland, Gio Reyna, etc. Marlon, these guys. He can go to the Bundesliga, tear up that league, show what he's really about, show why Bayern Munich rate him so highly, show him why in Germany they rate Callum so highly in Germany, because they rate him highly at the end of the day. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, if he can go to Dortmund and play on the left wing, that would be really good for his development, because that is his best position. There's no point of him staying at Chelsea, first of all, knowing he's got to get past Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and Mason Mount. And have I missed anyone else? Probably is. He's got to get past those 5 for pretty much 2 positions, because we know Lukaku has got up front locked. Nobody's taking that position away from him, unless it's maybe Kai Havertz. But regardless, Lukaku's got one of the positions locked up front. So you got 2 positions for 5 players. On top of that, 6 in Callum. Callum may as well go on a loan to Dortmund. There's no point of him playing right wing back, because for me, it doesn't get the best out of him at all. I was seeing people saying, I saw somebody tweet something about Greenwood. Oh, Greenwood, what Greenwood's doing for United is what Chelsea fans expected Cho to do. First of all, sorry, but Greenwood's actually playing in attacking positions. And second of all, I don't think Callum's ever been treated well by Chelsea managers. I don't think Sarri treated him right. No. He gave him an opportunity when it was too late, and when he did, he got injured. Why didn't he give him an opportunity early in the season when Willian and Pedro were playing badly? Lampard, during that bad spell, he was literally our second player behind Mason Mount and was still on the bench. And on top of that, every time Pulisic and Ziyech were actually out at the same time, he barely gave Cho any opportunities on the wing. Instead, he was playing Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. And then Thomas Tuchel, it looked like at the beginning, they had a good relationship. Yeah, interviews and stuff like that, and the training clips and all this absolute BS. He doesn't even play him at left wing. What? Because he doesn't trust him, probably. Because maybe tactically, there's certain things Cho doesn't have over Pulisic or Hakim. Or maybe because Cho has just certain attributes like his pace and his dribbling and his crossing ability that makes him enough to play as a wing-back. What's that going to do for his development? He needs to play at the left wing, and then you're going to see the real Hudson Odoi. And on top of that, he needs consistent game time, something he's never got. The only time I've seen this guy actually have consistent game time was that period in the Lampard when when he came back from injury and he dropped Pulisic for him. And what? A period under Sarri as well. When this guy is getting game time, he's actually really good. So yeah, tell me all your thoughts on below on Callum Hudson-Odoi to Dortmund. Would you let him go? And if you wouldn't, tell me why. Obviously, tell me your thoughts on Saul and Kounde. I feel like I haven't talked enough about them, but it just feels to me that if you don't get them, Chelsea have bottled this transfer window, in my opinion. You know, you went for a defender in Kounde that you didn't need over a midfielder in a Tchouameni. What does that tell me? I genuinely think the reason Chelsea didn't go for a midfielder is because they failed with Declan Rice. And that's why I don't think Chelsea have been serious about it. And think about it. We can't go into a season with Kante, who's going to be getting injuries, yeah, all season. Jorginho has already played a lot of football in this year anyway, and Kovacic. We can't. We cannot. It's going to be physically nearly impossible to keep all of those three, not happy or anything, but fit consistently. That is crazy. Are you telling me you're going to rely on a Ruben, who, by the way, it looks like is willing to go on a loan as well? Interest from England and Italy have emerged. The likes of in England, Roma and Lazio have been interested in Ruben before. Ruben's open to the move as well, and in my opinion, he may as well go on loan, if not maybe even permanently. I don't know if he has a future here at Chelsea. Yeah, Tuchel rated him before, but he's not going to promise him minutes, and that's why he's probably going to go. And obviously, Bakayoko as well has gone to AC Milan, which looks like a 2-year loan deal with an obligation to buy for 20 million euros. So if that's true, that's masterful, and that's world class for Marina there. Once again, she's done it again. Do you understand? But honestly, that will sort of be ruined if we don't get a centre back now, because it's like, you know, you sold Zuma to get Kounde. And that's why a lot of fans wanted Zuma gone. Because he wasn't in Tuchel's plans. And we could get Kounde. And it looks like we might not even get him. Because what? A difference in valuation of 10 million. And you look at Saul, for me that's a panic. Because you bottled it with Declan Rice. And because you don't want... Because you bottled it with Declan Rice. And because you want Declan Rice so badly, Chelsea... Yeah, you're not even willing to go for Tchouameni for 40 million euros. 40 million, and you get Tchouameni. What's that? 34 million pounds for the best young talent in Serie A. Serie A, Liga. What am I talking about? But yeah, guys, for me, it's absolute madness. Chelsea better get the deals done, because if they don't, I'm actually gonna go mad tomorrow. So we'll see if there's an update tomorrow. There's probably gonna be updates tonight, but I probably won't make another video unless it's like a here we go type shit. Do you understand? For either player. Do you understand? So like, yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Turn those post notifications, share my video down below, and just tell me your thoughts on all this shenanigans on Cho potentially to Dortmund. Would you let it happen? If you don't, tell me why, obviously. Do you think Saul and Kounde will happen to Chelsea? If you don't, tell me why. If you do, tell me why. So yeah, guys, I'll see you lot tomorrow, hopefully, because it's transfer deadline day, and there's going to be a lot of news tomorrow, not even just involving Chelsea, but in the football world in general, do you understand? So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.